Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you're logging in from. Hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to do my little gallery view so I can see all of you today. So, what I would love to request to any of you that have attended my events before, you know that I love for you to join by video so that I can actually see you and interact. And please feel free to jump in, ask questions, share great things that you're doing throughout. If you have an idea, this is all about learning from each other and growing together. So, those that have not met me, I'll introduce myself in a moment, letting everyone log on here. Again, please join by video. Welcome, Deanna. Welcome, Linda, Christy, Daljeet. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Holly, Katie, welcome. Go ahead and join us by video like Katie. Thank you, Katie. I can see you. It's so helpful. Okay, so I do have a little air purifier going. Is it too loud in the background? Can you guys hear me okay? Is there background noise? Do like thumbs down if there's bad background noise. No? Okay. So join by video and we'll wait for everybody to hop on. And then also, if for some reason, hey, thank you. If for some reason you can't join by video, let's say you're driving or something, if you can just still join by video so we can see you, that would be amazing. But you also have, Zoom has little emojis. So if you're really shy and you don't want to like physically do thumbs up, you could use Zoom's little emojis here. Welcome, Brian. Christy Craft. Awesome.
Hello, thank you.
Good to see all of you. Hi, Brian. So what I'd love to do, one, to test out the comment box because we're going to use it today, and two, because there's a few more people logging on, is go ahead and put for me in the comment box below how you found us, because we shared this workshop with quite a few different people. Did you find us through a state association, through Facebook? How did you find us? Why did you sign up for this event? And I would actually prefer you take yourself off mute and share with us, but I know some people can be a little shy. So if you're feeling super shy today, you can throw it in the comment box or take yourself off mute and share.
Well, I found you on Facebook. I'm Dr. Brian Solovsky. I'm a chiropractor in Pennsylvania. And I found you on Facebook. And the reason I signed on is because I want more time, magic, and money in my life.
Wonderful. Thanks for joining in. Do you have any CAs in your office?
I have 3.
Okay, wonderful.
2 females and a male.
Are any of them with you here today?
No.
Okay, so this is a good one. If you did want to record, you're welcome to, because it will be a good one to rewatch with your team or have your team rewatch. At the very least, taking super good notes for them. And that goes both ways. So those of you that are CAs here logging on, take good notes that you can then just email. I like to just do it in the body of an email and email it out to everybody on your team, massage therapists, your chiropractor, everyone, because you're going to learn a lot of great little nuggets that would apply to anybody in the office. Awesome. Who else wants to share with us? Where are you logging in from? How did you hear about us? 2 on Facebook. Wonderful. Linda's in state association. What state are you in, Linda? Some of you I know are saying your computer doesn't have a camera. Totally understandable. Oh, I think you're on mute, Daljeet. Let's see if we can get you unmuted so we can hear you. Go ahead and unmute yourself if you can.
Hi,
Hey.
I'm Daljit from India, and I received the service from chiropractors as I was the patient of spine. Injury was there in my childhood, and L4, L5 was disturbed, and I received a very calm and nice treatment from Mr. Craig, I think Craig, right? Dr. Craig, Dr. D, and other team members also. They are here for the many years. On the annual Sant Nirankari Samagam, you can watch this calendar is there. Sant
Yeah.
Nirankari Samagam. Watching? Able to see? Yeah. They are running the charitable dispensary for the patients who need the healing via chiropractors. Again, in coming November, the annual Samagam is there. Your team will be there for the service again to provide us the healing touch and recover from us from the our problems and queries. So I'm so much thankful as I get recovered from all the injuries and all the problems. So that's why I joined the meeting today, and I want to convey all the chiropractors members, those who are doing their services and paying their efforts to recover our injuries and the healings. Thank you so much, and I am fully blessed.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for being here. What an honor. That's wonderful. So, am I understanding correctly that you're a patient and you work in the office? Or
Yeah. I got the treatment from the chiropractor team.
wonderful. Oh, good. So, what you'll learn a lot of today is how to talk to other people about chiropractic and share
Yes.
with them what it is
Yeah.
and how to come in and the importance of it. But it sounds like your testimony alone is the best way to spread the message and just share the wonderful results that you've received.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thanks for joining us here. Who else wants to
Thank-
share? I see Christy is from Colorado Chiropractic Association. Yes, we've met. Awesome. Who else wants to share with us?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. How did you find us? This is so cool, isn't it? I love being able to reach out on Facebook and just find, oh, who's gone? We lost someone. People from all over the world joining in. It's so wonderful. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. Hopefully we have everybody that wants to be here is here. If you need to send this link to anybody, anybody you know that needs this topic today, go ahead and send them the link. Here we go. Okay, so we're ready to rock and roll. Last begging request to join by video if you have a camera so I can see you. It helps so much. The link's in the chat box if you want to send it to your team members or friends to join. Okay, so today's topic is creating lifetime wellness patients. So 4 times a year, I volunteer my time to teach a webinar to chiropractors. It's usually completely free or part of your membership. That's why you're joining us here today. And these are areas that I am an expert on. So creating lifetime wellness patients is something that I do really well. The teams that I work with are in the high 90% on how many patients become wellness patients and actually stay. Another buzzword that's used a lot is retention, right? Having patients retain. And so I'm going to share with you guys the step-by-step process of exactly how to do that so that you get really predictable results. So you can implement these and know, okay, here's A to Z of what to do. And this is going to create patients that not only sign up for care, but stay for life. So before we jump in, I do want to quickly introduce myself because I do see some new faces on here. My name is Haley Jules. I'm the chiropractic assistant coach. I have been working in the field for almost 15 years now. Chiropractic completely changed my life and saved my mom's life. And I now have the honor of being able to go into practices around the globe and work with teams one-on-one and train individual teams. I run an immersion experience where I actually come into your practice and we work on everything tip to tail, everything chiropractic. And it's so powerful. So I work primarily with chiropractic assistants. And then we also have a wonderful video series. If anyone's interested, I can share about that today. And then we have our weekly chiropractic assistant mastermind, where you can actually log in weekly and learn and grow with us. We jump right in. So there's not as much of a hello as we had today and checking in. We jump right in. Everybody shares their wins of the week. There's a specific video lesson and then Q&A as well. So a lot of chiropractors will utilize this as their weekly team training because in a year's time, we cover every single topic that you need to know as a chiropractic assistant. So we do the training for you. And what I love about this, everything that I do is about building community with other CAs because I'm a full-time chiropractic assistant coach now. I was a chiropractic assistant and now have gone into full-time CA training. And when I was a chiropractic assistant, what I yearned for the most was community and other CAs to learn from and grow from. And I had so many unanswered questions, and many that my doctor, even though she was amazing and a chiropractic coach herself, couldn't answer. These were CA specific. So that's really what I've dedicated my last decade to, is creating a CA community where we can come together and learn from each other, because there are some things that a CA in another office might know how to do even better than your own doctor, right? So we can learn and grow. And then we always look at how to 10x our time. Who here's done Grant Cardone work? Any Grant Cardone fans here? The 10x guy. So we look at how to 10x our time, and what are other offices doing, and how can we help each other share our best resources to really shave off minutes, like an Olympic swimmer, shave off even seconds of our work in the office to be very, very efficient. You may also know me from working with Dr. Nona, Part-Time $1 Million Cash Practice. So I helped my chiropractor about a decade ago create a Part-Time $1 Million Cash Practice where she would come in very limited hours a day, and we would run and grow the practice for her as a team. So in the future, or if we have time today, I may share a little bit more about my story and how chiropractic saved my family's life, and how I have now multiple family members that I truly believe would not be here without chiropractic care. So I am forever grateful. Show of hands or thumbs up, who has also had life-changing, maybe even life-saving results for you or someone in your family? Give me like some thumbs up or hearts. Oh, this is amazing. Yay. Jessica, Deanna, Katie, Linda, beautiful. So you guys know, you get it, the real power of chiropractic care. So where's the disconnect? Why is it? I remember when I first found this, I felt like I had found the fountain of youth, right? The secret to life. And I remember obsessing over, why don't more people know about this? Why is it that we live in a world where not every single person is under chiropractic care? It comes to just the very core of who you are. Your brain and nervous system are completely affected by the spine, right? By those subluxations, by those misalignments. Everything functions better and is dependent on a healthy spine. Healthy spine, healthy life, as some of you say in your offices. Okay, so creating lifetime patients, the core of this really starts as, what kind of culture and community have you created in your practice? I'm going to jump on a quick screen share for you guys here, just so we can show some slides. So I want to dive first in to some action steps to create a culture of lifetime patients where it's normal, right? We want to look at, if somebody walked into your office, a complete stranger, don't read ahead, I know it's tempting. If a complete stranger walked into your office, what message would they get? What's on the walls? What do they see? Is it a message of wellness, or is it a message of sick and dying? If they popped on your website, if they popped on your social media, What are they seeing? Is it a message of wellness or a message of sick and dying? Are they seeing and understanding the great results, the effect of chiropractic, or are you talking about the bones and sharing pictures of x-rays that nobody understands or cares about anyways, right? So we really want to speak to people in a way that resonates with them. Everything I'm going to show you in this next section is to help meet the 6 human needs. Who is familiar with Tony Robbins? Raise your hand if you've ever done Tony Robbins stuff. So I had the honor of getting to work with Tony Robbins for many years in his community and be part of that. And one of the things that I adopted and really love are these 6 human needs. So this comes from human needs psychology, and every human needs all 6. And then we each have 2 that are primary that drive our decision making. So why am I sharing this? Because great marketers know this, right? Great marketers, multi-billion-dollar businesses use these 6 human needs to create an addiction. They use these 6 human needs to encourage somebody to buy, to purchase, right? Look at, for instance, a McDonald's commercial. What do they talk about? The Happy Meal, right? It creates happiness and family. They're not even talking about the food, right? They're talking about what it creates, this magical feeling. You go there with your family, you do these things. So they know, people in marketing, big bad pharma, all the marketing that is not so healthy for us, they're using these 6 human needs to create the urge to buy, to create customers, and to also create an addiction in many cases. So they say if something meets 3 or more needs, it creates an addiction. So just for fun in your head, think of any addiction, let's say smoking, drinking, whatever. Go through these needs, read what's on the screen here, and determine which 3 needs are met while partaking in that addiction, whether the addiction's yours or someone else's, and you will find that it meets 3 or more needs. Any addiction, I challenge you, meets 3 or more needs. Okay, so why are we starting with this? Why is this important? If the whole world is using this human needs psychology to influence people to do things that are unhealthy, why wouldn't we use it to influence people to do something that is so healthy and going to better improve their life for chiropractic care? So I like to say we create addictions to chiropractic care. Kind of joking, but it really is true. When you follow the steps we're going to go into, you'll see how everything I bring you through today is meeting these human needs for patients. So let's talk about this for a second, okay? Certainty. Where does your patient need absolute certainty? Time and money. So write that down. With time and money, I'm going to make sure to create certainty for my patient. You never want to be wavering on what their investment is, or times or scheduling. Create certainty with that. Have a predictable schedule. They know exactly every Monday at 4:45 they come in for their adjustment. Make that easy for them. Uncertainty, variety. These are going to be like the fun things that you do in the office, right? The spontaneous little pop-up things. I'll show you some examples of that. Significance. Do your patients feel valued, important, unique? Are you giving them the opportunity to share their testimonial? Are you giving them the opportunity to really grow as a person, as a patient, and become an advocate for chiropractic? Do we have that easy outlet for them? Are we giving them significance for their pain or significance for the pleasure of being healthy? So think about that. How often do people get significance for being sick? They get attention, right? For being sick, hurt. They're used to that. So we almost have to rewire their brains and help shift it of like, hey, we're giving you significance for healing and sticking with the healing process. That's what makes patients unique and get attention once they're patients in our office. We're going to continue for life to give them significance. Connection and love. I know you guys are all so good at this. Giving them opportunities to grow, and then contribution. So a highly motivated contribution person will actually quit care if you are not giving them the opportunity to contribute. They'll find somewhere else to contribute. So that's why, like, asking for testimonials, asking for referrals, all these things, it's not just about growing the practice, right? Obviously, it's about getting more people stronger and healthier and to live a better life, but it's also part of creating lifetime patients. It's part of giving those contribution motivated people an opportunity to contribute to a cause that's higher than themselves. Some of the best patients quit because they don't feel needed. They're not contributing in the office, so it becomes lower on their priority list than other areas in their life where they volunteer, where they contribute, where they help. They need to help. So think of a patient now that you know that has that personality that just needs to help and needs to contribute, right? Give them a job. Give them a job. Give them a challenge to refer 5 people in this week. Okay, so we're going to look at 3 things to do that are going to help create lifetime patients. The first one is to have intention before the first patient walks in the door. So, thinking on what can I appreciate and acknowledge about patients today? How can I add value to their life today? And definitely write these down. Who do they know that we can help today? I'm asking these 3 questions every single day when I look at my schedule. And I'll actually set specific intentions for each patient. What's my intention for this patient today? What's my intention for this patient? And you can do this in your pre-shift huddle. Do it rapid fire, really quick as a team. Set an intention for each patient. So which human needs, pop quiz, is the intention setting meeting, right? What would this mean? Throw your answer in the chat box. You can take yourself off mute and share what human needs are being met with your intentions. Is it contribution right here? They're getting to contribute, right? Love, growth, connection. Okay, now popping in. I want to look at here some action steps to create lifetime patients in your daily visit. So every CA, every person on the team, you want to have these things dialed in and like in your back pocket to create lifetime patients. So one is success stories, having massive success stories that are going to motivate patients. Have you guys heard the concept? Raise your hand if you've done any sort of public speaking courses, or you've taught a workshop or a class. Probably a lot of our chiropractors on here have taught classes, and they will teach in workshops to bring people through the hero's journey and share a story that's similar to their story where they get a great result. So an example of this is, like, let's say I have a patient, I'll use a real patient. His name was Jose, and he was getting such great results, but he had a child and a wife that he had never brought in, right? So I shared with him a story, a success story of another patient who came in, got amazing results just on his own, never brought his family. Then finally one day he brought his family. And then I shared what great results the family got, right? How it changed his daughter's life, how she struggled with asthma, no longer struggles with asthma, and can breathe deeper, can now play sports and do all these wonderful things. So I share the success story with him. So how are you guys highlighting patients? Do you have, oops, sorry, I didn't realize this is on edit view. Do you have success stories that you're sharing every week, every day? Are you highlighting a patient once a week that you're sharing their story with everyone? And then you can have daily themes, right? Monday could be get your body strong and healthy for the week. Friday could be for the weekend, right? Tuesday could be referral day. Wednesday could be friends and family day. Raise your hand or plug in the chat box if you have themes, daily themes. Just go ahead and pop in some of the themes that you have to give other CAs here ideas. Daily themes, weekly themes, monthly themes. Beautiful. Thank you. Those that are jumping. Oh, Hannah. Hey, Hannah. Jumping in here. And then the third thing here is your powerful one-liners. So this is what chiropractors call table talk. And these are just tiny little one-liners to influence people and plant the seed that's going to help them make this decision to stay healthy for life and bring other people in. So I have a list of a couple hundred of these. If you want that list, pop your email in the chat box. I'll send it to you. And I will also have Brittany put in the chat box our Facebook group, and I'll post it there as well. So let me share some examples. One would be, did you know one adjustment boosts your immune system by up to 60%? A powerful one-liner question could be, how has your health improved since you started care here? So not how are you feeling, right? Who says, how are you feeling? We say that when your kid has a spiked fever or temperature, right? If you ask someone how they're feeling, their brain automatically from conditioning is going to scan for what's wrong. If you ask them what's improving in your health, their brain's going to scan for what's right. And if you've tuned into this Creating Lifetime Patience webinar, I can say with certainty that you're a wellness practice and not a pain-based clinic, right? Because pain-based clinics are going to get people out of pain and then they're gone forever. Wellness practices understand that getting out of crisis is the very first step to living a healthier life. Then you've got to maintain those amazing results. How is your improved health benefiting your family? How is your improved health benefiting your work performance? So I'm going to give you a couple one-liners to write down to start your one-liner list. So go ahead and make sure to start writing these down. Did you know deviations from the normal spine, from a healthy spine, can decrease lifespan by up to 14 years? So by the way, if you want to do your own research on this, look for like hyperkyphosis, scoliosis, like those types of spinal misalignments and how much they can decrease lifespan. So I got those from some research on chiropractic biophysics is where I got that fact. So I wouldn't just say that alone. I wouldn't just say, did you know misalignments in the spine, or deviations from a healthy spine can decrease your lifespan by up to 14 years. I would immediately add in, aren't you glad you're getting adjusted today? Aren't you glad you're committed to the healthy chiropractic lifestyle? So everything that we say, we really want to future pace patients for the future, for remaining under care, right? And we do this from the very beginning. When you bring a patient through, let's say an office tour, when they first come in, I want to show them things I want to talk about being a lifetime patient and talk about what that means. Once you're out of pain, right? Once you're a patient here, once we get you out of pain, we're going to help you maintain these great results for life. Talk about it every visit. Like, oh, did you meet Jenny? Jenny's one of our VIP wellness patients. What that means is she's committed to staying healthy for life with chiropractic care. So make it so normal that by the time patients get out of their crisis care, corrective care, whatever you do in your office, they're so ready and excited to celebrate becoming a lifetime patient. Make it so normal and so assumed, even from the phone call, from the tour, that they're ready to do this. There should never be a point if the team is doing their job, there should never be a point in the practice where the doctor has to ask if a patient's going to continue with care, right? That just simply means we're not doing our job on educating the patient. There should never be some big formal moment of, are you going to continue? Are you going to do the next round? It's when you continue, when you become a lifetime patient, when you're out of pain and maintaining these great results, right? Then we're only going to see you like once a week. What are you going to do with all that free time? Right? Or then we're only going to see you once a month. What are you going to do with all that free time? So see how the language that you're using is so important to create a lifetime culture. There's questions I'll share with you more. Again, ask if you want the list. One thing that I want to highlight, this isn't exactly part of today's lesson, but based off of some of your offices and a little bit about what I know about your chiropractors, I feel this is really important to share. Have you heard the quote, the fortunes in the follow through? How many offices here have a pre-shift huddle? Hopefully everyone's raising their hand. But what I found is a lot of offices have a great pre-shift huddle, but they don't have a post-shift huddle. And these tend to be offices that struggle with follow through. Do you ever have something that you're planning on doing and it just doesn't get to the point of done? Right? Maybe everybody, maybe nobody's taken responsibility for it on the team. Maybe everybody has, but it just keeps getting on the next to-do list and the next to-do list and the next to-do list and doesn't quite get done. A lot of times you can clean that up with a post-shift huddle. So remember earlier today, I talked about having a pre-shift huddle and setting an intention for your day with your patients. Like as a team, you meet together, you set an intention for each patient. The post-shift huddle is when you follow up with that. So if your intention for a patient was to talk to them about family care and get their son on the schedule, you've got to have a point where you're going to follow up as a team with each other and say, hey, how did we do? Did they get on the schedule? Yes or no? Why? Why is it no? Did we forget to talk to them about it? Okay, give them a call, shoot them a text. Like, let's put that on the intention next week. So you follow through until they have achieved the desired end result. So things I like to look for at the end, if you had a great day, why was it so great? What was the energy like? How can we duplicate it? I come from a big Italian family, and so we do, Italian meals often. And I remember one time having friends over for a big Italian meal, and I can't remember what I was even making. It was like a bougie lasagna or something like that. And I took like some leftovers from the fridge and threw those in and some other things. And I tried, using like a goat cheese instead of ricotta, and threw these different things in. And then everybody came to dinner and loved the meal. Oh, Haley, it's so amazing. And then after they left, sure enough, the next week I kept getting calls and messages of, can I get your recipe? This was so good. And because I just threw things in, can you guys guess what I said? I could never do it again, right? Has anyone cooked like that before? I have no idea. I just threw stuff in there. I could never do it again. Well, what would have happened if, as I was cooking and throwing things in, I just notated what and like roughly the amount? What would have happened if even at the end of that day, I sat down while it was fresh in my mind and wrote down the ingredients? Then I would create something that I can duplicate. And so often I'll have practices call me and say, oh, our numbers grew, everything's great. We spiked so much and, numbers are up. The first question I ask is why? Why? What did you do to create this? Because the reality that you're experiencing in practice right now, whether it's low numbers, high numbers, tons of new patients, no new patients, is a direct result of what you did as a team the last 3 to 6 months. Say that again. The reality you're experiencing right now is the direct result of what you did as a team the last 3 to 6 months, because it takes time to build momentum. So if you're having great results, take time to check in at the end of the day. Why was today so great? Hey, I felt so energized. I worked out today before I even came in. And look, I got 3 new patients on the schedule. Like just that level of energy made a difference in my work performance. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your team. When you do great, what created that? When you don't do great, what created that? And notice so that you can do the good stuff again and create predictable results for yourself. So how can we duplicate it? Should always be a question when you have something awesome, or if the day does not go well, what could we do to prevent this in the future? Like, let's say everybody ran late all day. What could we do to prevent this in the future? We had a little system where my doctor, we had a new doctor. She tended to run a little late on her day one. So we had a little system where when she got to that, 20-minute mark in her day one, the system was that I would knock on her door, open it up and say, can I help you with anything? And that was like the cue, so sometimes just these little tweaks are going to make such a big difference. And then she would know She'd either say, oh, I'm going to have Haley take your x-rays now, or she'd say, come back in 3 minutes for x-rays. She would know to speed things up. So just looking for how can we help each other here, duplicate great results and prevent the not so great ones. Okay, so we're not going to go into this now, but feel free to take a picture of completing the cycle of action for that follow-up and follow through. It's not what today's about. And then also leaving work at work and home at home as much as you can. I know some of you are married to your chiropractor. I know that some of you think about this all the time, think about work, come up with a system for yourself. You may have heard the story of the man that walked into his home at the end of the day, and he had this tree in the front yard, and he would stop at the tree every day and imagine, like, any baggage, any stresses, anything from the day. He would imagine hanging those on the tree and taking a break from them so that he could go and walk in the door and be fully present with his family and fully there. And look, guys, this goes both ways. It's equally as important that when you walk in the office in the morning, no matter what craziness you've dealt with that day, the night before at home, it's so important that you check that at the door, because where you're stepping into, the chiropractic office is a sacred place of health and healing. It's a sacred place where people's brain and nervous system gets reset. And like, let's think about this brain and nervous system getting reset. If you were the person standing next to the surgeon when they're doing brain surgery, and you were making sure that their tools were right where they needed them to be and holding that light, are you going to be thinking about, like, oh, that stressful argument you had this morning and these other things when a brain is out on the table? Of course not, right? So why would we allow ourselves to come into the chiropractic practice where we're working with people's brain and nervous system? Why would we allow ourselves to be distracted with things at home and other things? So I like to say, give yourself the gift of taking a break from your problems, because the other beautiful thing that we all know is when you step away from problems and stresses in life and step away for a bit and then come revisit them, you have fresh eyes and a fresh mind. So right now, imagine walking into your office. What do you see? Is there a railing? Is there a tree? What's something that you see that you can decide, this is my spot. When I see this, I leave any cares, any troubles behind so that I can walk in fresh, give my team, my patients, my doctor, my CAs, give them the gift of my total presence, of that present time consciousness where I'm focused only on the person in front of me, because I don't have all these other thoughts and distractions. So stress, raise your hand if you felt stress, overwhelm, burnout in the practice. Who wears multiple hats? Like, I'm the doctor and the front desk. I'm the back office CA and the front office CA, right? Raise your hand if you wear multiple hats. So I want to share with you what I like to do at the beginning of the day. Those of you that know me well know that I run 2 different businesses, a vacation rental management company, a chiropractic assistant training company. I'm a single mom, so I have all these different things. I do work at the local school. Could go on and on with the different things that I do. So the beginning of the day, I like to think of my life like a deck of cards, right? Where I spread, at the beginning of the day, I put all the cards face down on the table. One's my kid, one's my work, one's this CA from this office, one is this vacation rental. And then I like to just pick up one card at a time. And whatever that card is, whoever that person is, that task, I am completely focused on them and only them. So I can say with complete confidence right now, sitting here with you today, I am completely focused on you and only you. Do I have a day backed book to book? Absolutely. Did I have something right before this call and one right after? Absolutely. But this is your time. And giving people the gift of your presence creates a deeper connection and deeper relationship. It creates hyper awareness and hyper focus so that you can do the absolute best at your job and the absolute best with that person in front of you. And that creates lifetime patience. Having a place that they can come where they're really loved and cared for and focused on, you may be the only person that smiles at them all day. You at the front desk may be the only person that actually greets and truly cares about the person that comes in. How often do we get on autopilot? Who besides me is guilty of, let's get your body strong and healthy for the week. Da, da, da. You know, like you're up front and you're just on this autopilot and not actually connecting with the patients in front of you. The scariest moment in chiropractic for me was when I was bringing this patient through a re-exam. And this was a patient that she came in and we had them write their 20 to 30 year health goals. And she came in and her health goal was to live past the age of 60. And we're like, what? Like that's kind of a low number, like 60, like really? Well, it turns out all the women in her family had various health conditions and issues and had all died before the age of 60. Most of them had died before the age of 50. So she thought biggest, wildest dream accomplishment was to live past the age of 60. So every single visit, like every time I was connecting her into her rehab and, telling her, congratulating her for getting her body strong and healthy, every time I worked with her, I would say, how long? Like, how long is it possible to live? Like, what's your goal? She'd be like 60. No, really, Haley, like 60 would be great. So then there was this time I had her in this re-exam and she came in and she was super excited. She's like, 70. I think I could live to be 70. And she was so excited and I celebrated with her. But then I kind of just like forgot. I didn't tell my team and like, whatever. Yeah, like, of course, we get great results all the time. And then I did another re-exam, patients off blood pressure medicine, another one had debilitating migraines. We get so jaded with the great results that patients get because we're used to it and we expect it and it happens all the time. And it's easy to forget that one of these teeny things, like not having numbness and tingling in my left hand, right? Or not having migraines, can completely change someone's life. It makes them a happier person, a healthier person, a better mom. So it's so easy to forget how it affects somebody's life and improves their life with each little win. And that's why it's important to really be present with them. Also, stress and burnout is caused by worrying about things that are out of our control or things that aren't happening real time. We don't get stressed from worrying about real time, right? We get stressed from worrying about all the things that there's nothing we can do about it. So when I walk into the office, I like to think about what in my life, what stress, cares, worries are going on that during this 4-hour shift, there's nothing I can do about it, right? Write that down for yourself. What am I worried about? What stress, cares, worries do I have that during this shift, there's nothing I can do about it? And if there's something that comes up on your heart and your mind, you check that at the door. And the same thing on the way out of the office, too. So give your patients, your team, the gift of your total presence. This one's from Dr. Donnie Epstein. I know we have some people from Colorado tuning in here. Mile High was last weekend. Dr. Donnie Epstein says this, so we're going to do it. Stand up. Everybody stand up wherever you're at. Stand up. Put your hand on your hip like a sassy teenage girl. Look at the office, the dramas of the day, or back at home, the dramas of the day. Sassy teenage girl, you say, your drama is not my trauma, bless you. Say it with me. Your drama is not my trauma, bless you. So why do we do this, right? Obviously, you're not doing this in front of anybody, in front of patients, but these little actions where we're shifting our body, shifting our words, they shift our mind, right? And in psychology, which also my background before chiropractic is in neurolinguistics programming and life coaching and human needs psychology. So I do know a little bit about this stuff. And what we find when you have an action that changes your focus, your physiology, and your language, it will change your state. It will change the way that you feel. So this is key, guys. If you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, burnt out, right? You change your focus, your language, your physiology, And it's guaranteed that you can shift yourself to a different state, a different feeling. If you want to experience more happiness, think about what makes you happy. Sit how you sit when you're happy. Smile, even if you don't want to smile, right? Do the things that you do. Focus on what you focus on when you're happy. And that's what you're going to create for yourself. So, this is so key also with creating the lifetime patients, because when they're in the office, we want to keep them focused on, keep their eye on the prize, focused on where they're going, right? Focused on living a healthier life. What can you do now in your life that you couldn't do before you were adjusted? Remember earlier, how is your improved health benefiting your work performance, your family, your loved ones? People will do more for other people than they'll do for themselves. So we must write this down. We must link their improvement and their health that they're getting in the office to their relationships and to other people. Because isn't it so true that when we feel great, we are kinder, we're nicer people. I got to tell you, I had my dad has it too. It's a strange thing where our teeth are weak, and there's spots in our teeth that will erode and get holes, and they're not cavities, they're just holes. And I had multiple dentists tell me there was nothing that they could do about it. Then I found a dentist that was willing to fill in these holes for me. So I got this done last week, and I've got to tell you, since the work was done, and this has been going on for about 8 years. Since the work was done, I'm happier, I'm healthier, I feel so good. And I realized, not even knowing it, I had this little irritation, this little pain because the nerve was exposed for 8 years. And it was this underlying irritation that I was feeling all the time. And now I'm like, oh my God, I feel so light and free. I didn't even know I was really in pain until the pain was gone. And so many of your patients they've got this underlying irritation, right, of a subluxation. So they're maybe short fused, they're not as kind, they're not as loving to other people. And so that's really the freedom that chiropractic brings, is not just healthier people, but happier, kinder, more patient. So we want to really show them that. How has your family noticed? What positive things has your family noticed about your improved health? How does that make them happy? And you can even share examples. Some patients feel more patient, happier, more energized. We had a patient that was on 7 cups of coffee a day. Now she's down to 1. The only thing she's changed is getting adjusted. But did you know these nerves in your neck that go directly to your thyroid? So that's why she was feeling more energized every time she got adjusted, right? Hey, I noticed when you get up from the adjustment table, you take that big deep breath and it feels so good. That's because, did you know, every time you get adjusted, it opens up nerve flow to your heart, your lungs, your upper digestive system. Every time you walk out that door, your heart's beating stronger than it was when you walked in. Would that be an effective one-liner for a patient that I happen to peek and see on their medical form they have a family history of heart attack? Yes, those are the moments that we create patients that stay for life. Is really like what it comes down to is just giving a shit. Like, excuse my language, but caring enough to learn. I'm a CF front desk, but I'm going to learn the health history. I'm going to learn what's important to my patients, what motivates them, what inspires them, and speak to that. See the best in people and then talk about it, right? That's how you create lifetime connection with anybody. See a patient and talk about what they're doing great. Hey, I noticed you've made every single visit. You're so committed to your health and healing. And I really appreciate that about you. I really appreciate that you're always on time. I could tell that your health is your number one priority. I could tell that you prioritize your health above all others because your healthy mom is key to healthy family. Speak these words into them and anchor in what it means to choose the chiropractic lifestyle. Does that make sense? Thumbs up if this is good stuff. This is helpful. Thumbs down if you don't like it. Oh, come on, guys. Give me some thumbs ups. Thumbs ups here. Oh, thank you. I was hoping the screen was frozen there for a second. Okay. And then I'm going to just show you some nuts and bolts here, some visuals, because I know visuals are helpful. Can you still see my screen? Thumbs up, hearts, high fives. You can still see my screen. Yes. Okay, perfect. Hey, Sean. Welcome to the video. Okay, so here's some examples. Some of the offices that I coach, their lifetime members walls. And they have an actual wall to highlight patients that have gotten out of crisis and they're committed to lifetime patients. So in many states, we call this auto pay, right? So these are your patients that are like pay on auto pay for a certain amount a month and they come in twice a month. They've gotten their great results. So if you want to create more patients that are consistent, better retention, do you have visuals in the office for this? Milestones. So this office has the same thing that we had, these little tiles. They're actually like baseboards from Home Depot that I just chopped up. Anyways, these little tiles and a gold pen, and their very first time they committed to care. So they put down like their first investment for their first care plan. The very first time I'd have them write their name on a tile and I'd say, over here, you could see our lifetime members wall. These are patients that have gotten their great results and now they're maintaining those life-changing results for life. And we want you to be able to experience that same freedom of a healthy life. Yeah, they're only coming in like once a week, or they're only coming in like 1 to 2 times a month, whatever your wellness program is. So we're talking about it. We're planting the seed from the very first day. So here's your brick. We want to celebrate you today. Go ahead and sign this. I had a big glass jar on my front desk. I'd have them put the brick in there that they would sign, like this one here. And then I'd say, once you are graduated from your crisis care, you're maintaining, we're going to celebrate you and put you up on that wall. They'd walk in. My other front desk girl would say, hey, I see your name in there. I put it on top. You're one step closer to maintaining these great results for life. So it's not a question of are they going to stay, right? It's a matter of when. Just like when I teach CAs on how to bring a patient through like a financial, it's not a matter of if they're going to sign up for care or a new patient phone call. It's not a matter of if they're going to book an appointment. It's just simply a matter of how. Our job as CAs is to help with the how and help assist them to get there. These guys, they ring a bell every time someone goes on the wall, and they actually have a disco ball they turn on and dim the lights, and they play that song, Ring My Bell, and they celebrate, right? They get a gift. These guys, their office is huge, Lockport Chiropractic in Illinois. It's like the size of Costco in there. So they have room on their walls for 8 by whatever the 8 by 11 or standard size photos are. So every patient gets their photo and they go on the wall. You should see this now. The wall is completely full. It's turning the corner. This is when I first started working with those guys. And then the other thing that we're going to do is CA's part of creating lifetime patient is you really need to know your patients and know what their current care plan is and know what's next, right? Know what the doctor has recommended and what the doctor has recommended next. So you could talk about what's next with the patient on the daily visit. So there doesn't ever have to be any like re-sign or recommitment. Forget that, right? Let's make sure they know all the time. If you have any events, if your doctor does workshops, talks, anything like that, make sure you have invitations. You're inviting them all the time. And then here is testimonials. So making sure that you have these visuals of great results that you've gotten. So there's 2 things I want you to notice here. One is we're focused on resolved. What's resolved? So if you're going to share like a before after x-ray, if you're going to share a photo on your social media or on your wall, please, please, please don't just say patient of the month, we're celebrating, clap, clap. That means nothing to nobody. Nobody cares, right? Or like an x-ray or posture screen, like, look, the red line's closer to the green line. Nobody cares, like, unless you're a chiropractor, right? So we've got to share what that means to them. People's brains filter through information with the question, what does this mean to me? So what does it mean to them? So you may share resolved list here. And of course, the patient signed, consent to share their testimonial. So this way, even the UPS man would stop at our board and be like, oh, whoa, they don't have dizziness? Like my wife is so dizzy, you know, and then we'd sign the UPS man's wife up for care. You know, all of these things where they see, hopefully your screen is big enough that you can see this. So if you're going to share a visual, make sure to share what that means to the patient. We would highlight 3 things. Patient of the month was somebody that had like a behavior that we wanted to replicate and see more of. So for instance, you know, she was very consistent. So we highlighted her. Jose wanted to, you know, share, referred his family. So we highlighted him because that month our goal was to create more family patients. So make sure it's aligned with like your goal and your vision. I remember going into doctor's office and she wanted to see more athletes and she wanted to be like the chiropractor for the athletic teams. But you go into her office and it looks like Kitty Town at Chuck E. Cheese, right? Like it was so geared toward family practice. So what we had to do is change things. Her website, her social media was showing all these little kids. So, you know, I said, what are the best, you know, the most successful athletes you've treated? And she had treated some very famous athletes. So we featured their testimonials because she wanted more athletes, right? It makes sense. Like, who do you want to attract more of? What type of patients do you want more of? Those are the ones that you're going to want to highlight. And then we would do correction of the month, which we focus on that resolve list. And then the referral champion, always highlighting who's referring the most patients. Let's talk about this quickly. We have about 10 minutes left on our webinar. If you work in a chiropractic office, I want you to think of the word canceled similar to the word fuck. Like you wouldn't just say that off maybe some of my like New Jersey offices, right? But you likely wouldn't be saying this word to patients. So same thing with canceled. If they say, I want to cancel or I need to cancel on the phone call, right away, when do you want to make that up? When do you want to make that up? So this is part of creating lifetime patients is we've got to value their care so high that they understand a missed visit, they make it up, they don't cancel it. Okay. Lifetime members culture. How does the world see your office? Right? We know that chiropractic is priceless. If you're on this webinar, you know chiropractic is priceless. You know, chiropractic changes lives, it saves lives. But what is your community? If your name is, let's say it's Mr. Solovsky. Am I saying your last name right? Mr. Solowski, Solowski Chiropractic. If you were to interview any random person in your community, ask them what is Solowski Chiropractic, what would they say? Right? Oh, they crack bones and stuff? Or would they say, oh, that's a wellness center. That's where people get rid of their migraines. That's where people go when they're pregnant to have healthy pregnancy. So you could do something like this little board, hashtag Why Chiropractic. We had a challenge. You may have seen some on social media, and we had tons of chiropractors across the globe sharing this. Great for shy patients, right? That don't want to do a video testimonial. Have a hashtag Why Chiropractic board, and they get to fill it in, take a picture. No more migraines, healthy pregnancy, beautiful things, healthy energy to keep functioning with all extremities. This guy's getting up there in age, right? So you could have, raise your hand if you have a freedom from medicine bin or trash can. Some offices have like a trash can or a big glass bin where they invite people when they get off medication. They, of course, flush the medication, black out the name, then they bring it in and they drop their empty bottle in this bin as a visual of like, look at all the medication patients have gotten off of as a result of just living a stronger, healthier life. Okay. And then always celebrate their wins. This creates your lifetime patient culture. Whatever their win is, no matter how big or how small, celebrate it. Look at this little adjusted sense and the date they came in when she goes on the wall. These guys have a bell, you know, anytime somebody gets a symptom improvement, they ring the bell and they announce it. They have like a little skinny mic. They announce their great results. We would have, you know, sometimes party poppers, a bottle of champagne, like different things that we did to celebrate patients' life-changing success because it really is life-changing. when they have those amazing results. I have so much more that I would love to share with you on creating lifetime patients and other topics, but I did commit to keeping this to between an hour and 90 minutes. And I do want to leave some time to answer some questions I've gotten in the chat box, and then questions that you guys might have for me as well. So thank you so much for joining in today. I will share, we have some CSCA video training program that I wanted to share with you. If you were on this webinar today and super excited about building lifetime culture, but you may be thinking, hey, we still need some basics. Like I need the format of a new patient phone call, an office tour, checking someone out at the front desk. I've created videos, myself and Dr. Nona created these video trainings for you guys and an implementation training guide. So if these topics would be helpful, if you want to own your own CA training videos, which is basically going to be, you got your phone call, your tour, beginning and end, the whole onboarding of patients. So today what we talked about is sort of beyond the onboarding, right? Beyond the day 1, day 2. This is all the onboarding. This is all the stuff we really didn't talk about of how to have a successful new patient experience from a CA. So every one of these is a training video that you can watch. I'm gonna stick with us here. I'll play a 40-second promo. So what do you get? You get myself and my team actually role playing and bringing you through what it looks like real time, new patient phone call, office tour, end of day 1, beginning of day, everything that you need for the new patient experience. And then we also include scripts as well, and then an implementation training guide for training throughout the year. So because you are here today, and this is only today till the end of the day, because you're here, if you and your team wanted this, and those of you that know me know when I do a promo, it really is a promo, right? You go on my website, you pay this price. Today, there's a spot when you go to checkout where you can put in a promo code. Your promo code for today is event 300 and you save $300. That only goes to the end of the day. So event 300, if this is something that you want. If you are more interested in live coaching, working one-on-one with me, I'll put my phone number in the chat box. Have your chiropractor call or text me today. I only work with 4 offices private at a time. So we're booking those up for next year, each quarter, the offices I'm going to work with. And then we also have group coaching as well. So we also have where I go into your office and work with you. But again, those are super booked up. Like next year is booking up for the privates. So make sure you get that locked in today. I'm going to an event next weekend where we may sell out for 2025. If you're running privates, get that locked in today. If you want to save $300 on the videos, grab those today. If you want to chat about a group coaching environment, go ahead and do that today. So I'm going to put the link for the videos in. I'm going to put my personal phone number that you guys can call or reach out to me anytime from now to the end of the day as well. Before we hop off, I've saved 10 minutes here for us for a Q&A. So any questions you have for me about creating lifetime culture, anything CA related, please jump in and ask now. And I also want to offer up too, if you are doing something that's on point with our topic today in your office, that's been really effective, please share with the group. Don't keep it all to yourself. So share what you do to create lifetime patients. And then you can also pop off mute and share any questions that you have. So the floor is yours, my friend. Here's the video link I just posted now, and I'm going to post my personal cell number for you as well. Who has questions or things to add on to our topic today? Ah, we have some questions in the comment box. Wonderful. Let me get caught up here. Okay, hopefully, Sean, are you still with us? Oh, good. Okay, so Sean says, what are some things that we could do to reduce friction to actually get patients to leave reviews? This past quarter, it's been a real challenge. We have an easy to use QR code and review platform, but even when people say they'll leave a review, they're not. Has anyone else had this issue? I can help with this. So I'm very excited. Okay, so there's a couple different ways to leave reviews or to ask for reviews. My favorite, and I'm gonna answer everything I promise that's in that question. It's kind of a packed question there, Sean. I'm gonna answer everything that's in there, starting from the top and working our way down. So my favorite way to ask for review is to actually get a video testimonial from a patient. And here's why. If you get a video testimonial, it's so powerful to blast that out on social media when people are actually seeing someone's face other than the doctor and the team talking about the great results. You could also type it in, put it in, what is that, Chad GPT? There's different websites where you can put a video in and it will transcribe the words from the video. So you get the video, you transcribe, you put it in there, it transcribes it, then you text them their own review, right, that they shared in the video. You texted them and say, thank you so much for sharing the video review. I really appreciate that. We had it transcribed. Here's your words from your review. Will you please kindly copy paste this to Google, Yelp, Facebook, wherever you're asking them to send their review? So you're really having your CAs do all the work for them, make it really easy, right? They take 2 minutes out of their day. You get the commitment for the video, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Stick with us. You take the video and then you have it transcribed, super easy, super user-friendly websites. You text it to them, they're copy pasting, right? It takes the thought out of what am I going to type? What am I going to write? Then you have it as written text, you have it as videos. Whenever you have a review, you sprinkle that like sprinkles on a party cake. Put it everywhere. Print it, put it on the wall, put it on all your social medias, put it on your website, and then cycle it back through, right? So we have a couple hundred reviews. We'll post it when we get a review, and then we put it on our social media. We schedule it and cycle it back through. So about every 2 years, you'll see your own review pop up on our social medias because we cycle them through. Okay, so here's what I'm going to share with you. How do we get the video, right? If we can't even get the yes for them to actually post, or they're saying yes but not doing it, how do I get that video? So here's how you do it. I walk up to a patient and I say, hey, Sean, Dr. John told me that you have gotten phenomenal results. You came in with excruciating headaches. He let me know those are completely gone. Congratulations. We're so happy for you. Hey, now that you are headache free, I would love to ask that you share a very brief, quick testimonial with us. We're here all day. We don't have time to go out and farm new patients. So most of our patients find us from reviews and from testimonials. That would take about 2 to 4 minutes right now. Is that something you'd be willing to do? See, I'm nodding my head. I'm having congruent body language. Then whatever excuse they have, like, oh, my hair doesn't look good today, or whatever, they're like, you know what? It looks great. People say that all the time, but really, it doesn't even matter. This is about helping other people. Before you came in, did you even know chiropractic could help with headaches? No, I didn't. Think about how many people out there are suffering, and your review is going to be the thing that's going to help them understand that chiropractic can help with headaches. Would you do that for us? Like, okay. So if they still give you pushback, you could schedule it for their next visit. Make it easy, make it fun. The main thing is make it easy. You don't need to have like a video studio set up. Just use your cell phone. And I would do it like this. I'd say like, Sean, so here's what I'm going to do. And everybody here watching, by the way, write this down. I have 3 steps to getting a great review. Because it's one thing to ask for a review, but it's another to get a review that you can use. You do not want to say, tell us your story. Then they'll be like, when I was 4, I was in a car accident and then this happened. Like, nobody wants to listen to all of that. We have very short attention spans these days. So we really want our reviews to be tight and amazing, right? So here are the 3 magic questions to get an amazing review. This is the course I sell for a lot of money. You guys are getting it for free. So write this down. Your 3 magic review questions. The first one. What was your life like before you started chiropractic care? What's your life like now? Is the second question. The third question. If there was somebody that was thinking about coming in but not quite sure, what would you tell them? So these questions are really powerful. I'm not asking what's improved or symptom questions. What was your life like before you came in? What's your life like now? And if there was someone that was thinking about coming in, but they weren't sure, what would you tell them? So, hey, Sean, do you mind playing along? Can we role play this together quickly? I'll be the CA.
Yeah, happy to.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to pretend that I'm asking you to take this video. I'm going to take the video of you, and I'm going to ask that you share your truly honest answers to that question, okay?
Got it.
Okay, perfect. So Sean, it'll take about 3 minutes. I'm going to pull my phone up. I'll hit record. I'm going to nod my head so you know it's recording. Once it's going, please answer those 3 questions. What was your life like before you found chiropractic? What's it like now? And if there was someone thinking about coming in, but they weren't quite sure, what would you tell them? You got it?
Got it.
Got it? Okay. Ready, set.
Well, I used to be a pro WWE wrestler, and I took a jump off the high ropes, and I hit my head really hard, and I was having migraines every single day. And then you said, tell what changed since coming in?
Yeah, what was your life like before? So I could tell you've shared your story before because it's a powerful one.
Oh, yeah.
So focus on like, what was your life like before with those debilitating migraines? What was your life like versus what is it like now?
So before my life, I had to quit wrestling. So that, I had to have a completely different career change, and I wasn't sleeping well. I just had to lay down in a dark room when I had these migraines. So my life was like completely changed after that. But since getting chiropractic care, my migraines are gone. I might have like once a month migraine, and now I don't have to like lay down in a dark room. And now I'm going to wrestle in Afghanistan now. Yeah. So I'm going to be a secret soldier wrestler in Afghanistan.
Wow. So it sounds like your whole life came back and now even better in some ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. If you knew somebody that was thinking about coming in, but they weren't quite sure, what would you say to them?
I'd say just go for it. I mean, what do you have to lose if you got migraines all the time? I mean, my life's totally different now.
Awesome. And then I would press the button to stop recording. So notice that, thank you, Sean. Notice that last question gives the patient a call to action. So anyone watching the video is ending with just go for it. What do you have to lose? Right? The review that they're reading gives them a call to action because of the question that I asked, right? So that's why those questions are really powerful. And I could tell that Sean was seasoned and polished and had shared at least some of his story before. So these are going to be really powerful. You get that review, the video, and then text it to them. That's my favorite way to do it. Another way that you can do if you have patients that have been on the fence is incentive, right? So some people have like a raffle. and they'll ask for reviews, and you get a raffle ticket to win a flat screen TV or something when you do a review. My favorite one, which is fun to do for the month of October or even November, is Office Bingo. And patients get a bingo card, and they could even they could keep the bingo card there at the practice, like on the wall or something. So you have like a bingo wall, they get a bingo card, and there's different things that they could do to mark one of the bingo boxes. So one could be like leaving a review, one could be referring someone, one could be tagging your office in a picture that they post on social media. One could be a video review. So different things they could do to then get bingo and then have like a huge reward or really awesome thing that they get when they get bingo. So those are really fun just to kind of boost the morale. And if you feel like you're asking people all the time, like, can you give a review? Can you give a review? And they don't, and it's getting stale, make it fun, gamify it. We could have a wheel that people spin, and they win prizes and they get to spin the wheel, after writing a review. So make it fun, make it super easy, like I said, of actually texting them their words. And that could even be a promise too. If someone's like, I can't do video, I'm sorry, I can't do video, I can't do video. Be like, hey, how about this? We take the video, I'll have it transcribed. And if you're not comfortable me posting the video, I'll have it transcribed for you. I'll text it to you, you post the review. Because that way you kind of take some of the control back as the office and you're actually getting the review, retrieving it, and can get that out there. So gamify it, make it fun. Start with video and then you can go from there. What else? Anybody here watching have good pointers for getting reviews, things you've done that were successful? Okay, so try that out. And then also, like in our mastermind, we have guest speakers that come on and they'll teach about like algorithms or different things. So it's good to know the algorithms as well with the platform that you are posting your reviews so that they're successful and viewed. Because unfortunately now, like for instance, Facebook will filter out a lot of reviews if you're not consistently doing it. Yelp, if you do like a bunch of reviews at once and then not at all, it kind of gets red flagged and they'll filter some out. So you want to really know about the platforms where you're posting so that it's very successful in the way that you post them and offer them. Oh, last thing, but the most important on reviews. We only ask for reviews when the patient is in a peak state. So this is important. When they're sharing their great results, they're so excited. They just came out of a positive re-exam or they're feeling great. It's their first headache-free week. That's when you ask for the review. You got to strike when it's hot. Sean, just like the wrestling or the boxing. You could tell this isn't something I've done, but striking when it's hot. I know you understand that concept. That's what we have to do. You never want to ask a patient when they're not like super jazzed. You never want to ask them for a review because it's just not going to be a good review and they're not going to be motivated to do it. So ask patients when they're super jazzed. Awesome. Any other questions? Last chance to grab the video link training or my phone number because once we shut off the Zoom, they will be gone. Okay, cool. Brian's software sets out requests for reviews after so many visits. Beautiful. Yeah, I like that. I'm actually friends with a lot of the guys that have created software for chiropractors that do this, like Review Wave and everything. And there's some really powerful ones out there. I would just track and be like, is this successful? Are we getting more reviews? Is this the right thing? Is it working for our office? If it's not, you might have to switch it up. And also make sure that you don't just rely on that. Like some people will get a software that asks for reviews and then they just stop asking for reviews and stop talking about reviews. But that's only one step. Like that's just something to add on to what you're doing already to get reviews and testimonials. Don't think of it as replacing because you'll lose a lot of power and momentum that way. Again at the front desk. Oh, nice. Beautiful. And then Any other ones? Checking the calendar. Okay, we're gonna log off for today. Thanks for joining live. I appreciate you guys. I hope to hear from all of you in the near future, and I'd love to work with you again.